Hey guys, how are y'all doing? Okay, perfect. Hopefully you can hear me um and see me. Anyways, so we're starting this live today with my friend and coach and the best health coach in the world, Aneshka. So let me dial her in.
Is this working? Is this not working? Oh, it's working.
Hi. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, babes. Okay, so great. So you can hear me and see me. Everything's good?
I hope everything is working. Okay.
Great. Awesome.
I'm so happy we are doing this. Honestly, guys, we were thinking about doing this live maybe for months or so, for so long.
Yeah, now finally we're here. But anyways,
Yes.
so let me tell them like a little bit of like about us, and then like I'll start like asking you the questions that I think that the audience will like really benefit from, and then you can ask
Mhm.
me. So me and Anashka, we met like almost a year ago through this Facebook group of Amanda Francis because we both took a money course. And she was like, she posted in a group like something around like who wants to like work together or like collaborate or something. And back then, like I had a huge like fear of like posting anything at all on the group. So, oh my God, thank you for buying a badge, Patricia. Oh, great. Anyways, and then yeah, so and I was like terrified of posting anything at all at the group, but Anashka was like posting, and so at some point I was like, okay, I need like to practice my coaching skills. At that moment, I already like had some like practice and like I learned stuff. And so I messaged her on like Facebook, and I'm like, hey, do you want to like co-coach together with each other, and be like, and gain like practice and stuff. I think it took her like a week to respond. Like, right?
Oh my God. And actually, I was like super stressed to post in that group as well. For me, this was like a big thing out of my comfort zone. I was like, okay, I'm not ready to start coaching, but I really want to start. So I will do that. And it was so amazing that we actually did it and we decided, let's get this thing done. And I remember how you were like, I was in a space where I didn't have so much time. I was like busy with my work, and you like pushed me to start really doing it. And we actually started coaching together, and yeah, it was amazing. Do you want to keep going with the story?
Yeah. Yeah, so she was right, but like I'm so glad she posted in the group. Anyways, so I messaged her and like took her like a week to respond, and then she's like, oh, like this week is my birthday, so like maybe, like in a week or two, and I was like, oh my God, this is like I need to like push through with this girl, because like, and I was like, okay, fine, so I waited a week or so. Then I messaged her again, like, so you want to do this, and I was like, I thought like she was like, I thought you were totally ditching me. I was like, maybe she doesn't want to do it. Like, maybe I'm like being too, but I'm like, you know what? But I need someone to like, I need a girl to like practice my skills. And like, it's going to be her. Like, I like her. Like,
Yeah.
I checked her Facebook page. I was like, okay, she's from Prague. She's like, because I'm from Ukraine. So we're like kind of like the same, mentality. And, I always like, oh my God, what happened?
Okay, just testing the settings.
The fuck? Anyways, and I'm like, I wish I had like more clients like her, from Europe, and like besides, American clients, but like I also wanted clients from Europe. So I was like, okay, that could be like, a great start. Anyways, and then yeah, and we started coaching together, and we learned the skills, and we talked, and we had like very similar, mindset and goals and like aspirations, and we both wanted to be coaches, and we just like we didn't know where to start.
Yeah.
So we started with each other, and we were like taking this so responsibly, like so
Yeah.
seriously, like every week we jumped on the call, and we just like, we discussed what we had. And even though we didn't have any clients or anything else going on, we were just like trying, things like,
Mm-hmm.
like I was trying to like get clients and build my course. Like she was trying to get her clients and build her course. And like we switched like, the topic of the, of the courses and of the coaching like 100 times, before like we became like who we are today and what we have today.
Yes.
So
And I think like the big thing of this was the decision. So we decided, okay, now we are doing it. We are becoming coaches, and we will dedicate ourselves 100% to this process. And like we were there for each other like every time. And yeah, even if it didn't feel comfortable at the moment, like we stick through it, and like we persisted.
Right.
Yeah.
We did after like, guys, like it was like, now looking back, like we started totally from fucking scratch. Like we started from scratch where we had like basically zero. We knew this is what we want and this is what we're like going after. So, and you're right, like it was like kind of like a decision, like this energetic decision that, that this is what we're doing, and that it doesn't matter, how long it's gonna take. I remember when Anashka was like coaching me, and I told her, one of my fears was what if it's not gonna work? Like what after a year it's not gonna work, and what are we gonna do then?
It always worked. Everything that we said to each other always worked.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Yeah.
But anyways, okay, so babes, I have like a few questions for you, but I think like we may go like question by question. But anyways, yeah, and so until this day, guys, like we still jump on calls. Like now it's like once a month, but we jump on calls, we share our progresses, and it's like it just like has been an amazing journey. And I feel like if you like want to start a business and you're like in a coaching space or anything, like it's like so much helpful to have somebody like that you can count on, like a girlfriend or like a partner or someone that is like takes this as seriously as you do and sees you as like your higher self and your higher version of yourself, and so do you.
Yes, and this is why I believe so much in coaching, because we have the coach as the accountability body. And doing something on your own is so hard, but when you have a person who is supporting you, who's like keeping you accountable for doing the homework, doing the steps, doing the uncomfortable new things in order for you to change the habit, it's like life changing. So this was like a huge thing for me. Yeah, if you guys are inspired by this story, maybe like take one step, reach out to someone and start coaching on your own. If you're like thinking about starting your own business, maybe this is your way. Maybe just like posting somewhere if someone wants to start working with you, or like practicing, because like this business journey is so amazing, and I'm so grateful that we took the first steps and I met you, Anastasia.
Oh, I'm so grateful I met you too.
But
yeah, and like the fears are always gonna like, I feel like the fears are always there. And like how we said that you were terrified of posting in that group. I didn't post in that group, like, but I reached out to you and I'm like, because for me it was like a way more comfortable to like just like reach out instead of like posting. I'm like, what are these people gonna think about me? What am I doing here? Like, all these things. But anyways, but we took the steps, and each step that we took in that direction that we wanted to go, in the direction of our dreams, our business, every fucking step felt terrifying. Like it was so terrifying. Like this live that we are doing on IGTV, it's always terrifying. But like we're doing this anyways.
We are doing it anyway. We do have fears still. There are many other fears coming up for us. Like it's a never-ending journey. Entrepreneurship is never-ending like journey of fears and overcoming and stepping outside of your comfort zone and like dealing with problems. It will be easier, but it will never be 100% easy. But this can be also fun. This doesn't have to be like struggle all the time, because like for me, I start to like it, going outside of my comfort zone and like overcoming myself. I love it.
Finally, huh?
Yeah.
Anyway, after like a year, to like struggles and like, how am I gonna do this? Like, God help me. And now we're like doing
But it's so worth it, because now we have thriving businesses and we are doing the work of like our heart, and I love it so much. I do what I love. I'm a health coach. You are money babe. You are perfect at what you do. You were born for this, because you have this amazing energy with attracting abundance. And yeah, it's amazing. It was so worth it.
Exactly. Anyways, okay, so tell us, question number 1. So how did you decide to become a health coach and why?
So I've had a long journey struggling with my health, and I've always, like, since I was 20, I started having like digestion problems, and I always had like really bad acne, which was like really horrible for me because I wanted to always be the beautiful girl, you know, I wanted to be liked and everything. And I started to dig more into nutrition and into my healthy lifestyle, and I started eating more healthy. I was cutting out certain food groups such as gluten, sugar, and stuff like that. And I started to feel a little bit better. However, I still didn't feel 100% like good. And my problems were mostly caused also by stress, but I thought that it's by my diet. And I was like trying different kind of diets. I was like all the time on the internet. I was trying to do like raw vegan diet, keto diet, low fat diet, like all these kinds of diets that you can imagine. And I was very strict and nothing worked for me. And I felt like so desperate and I didn't know what to do anymore. And I got this like really bad relationship with eating, and I actually ruined my digestion and my body even more. I started having like really bad anxiety. My colon, on like my gut health was completely ruined. And at one point I was like, okay, this is enough. I was at the time I was working as an Emirates cabin crew. I had this amazing lifestyle full of traveling, living in Dubai by the beach, you know, quite nice money. But I was not happy. I was stressed all the time. I was anxious. I was not happy at all. I was constantly like having this inner critic in my head all the time. I had like horrible relationship with my body, with myself, and I was totally disconnected from my own body. And then I started working. I decided that I want to heal myself. I started like studying nutrition. I became a nutritionist. And this is when I learned to really combine the like the science behind nutrition with like listening to our own bodies and like loving ourselves more and kind of finding a way that works for us. And this is what I actually combine in my health coaching practice with my clients. I kind of help them to understand their own bodies, to learn the principles of healthy eating and mindset and self-love. Yes, this was my journey. It was really...
That is like so inspiring, you know, like I feel like the only way that we can like teach others something is when we went through the journey ourselves.
Yes.
And you know, that decision when you're like looking at yourself in the mirror and you're like, okay, I don't like this, I want to change this, and you're on like, and you're stepping on the path of like changing this, and then you're like creating a whole career out of, you know, out of your passion for living a better life. Like this is so inspiring.
Yes, and this career is actually based on my desire because I don't want anyone else to struggle like I was, and I was really struggling, and I was like, I don't know what I should do, you know, I'm eating everything, I'm eating so clean, and I'm eating only like fruits and vegetables, and I still don't feel healthy. And I don't want anyone else to think in this way because there's so like harmful information in the internet, and people get so confused, and then they hurt themselves even more. So I don't want anyone else to experience this. And this is like really motivating me to help my clients too.
That's beautiful. And what keeps you motivated, like to stay fit? You know, it's like one thing is to start that. Another thing is, okay, I'm there, you know, like when you start seeing results and that, like, you know, from your body, and then you start coaching others how to do that. But also, like, you know, you have to, like, it's not like this whole career, this whole lifestyle, it's like, you know, this health style of yours. It's not just, you know, it's not just, I did it once and that is, and there is that, you know, it's like a lifestyle, you know, you have to always keep staying fit, keep staying healthy, you know, like it becomes like a lifestyle that you live. So how do you, you know, how do you stay motivated? How do you stay fit?
Like, honestly, I was thinking about this a lot, and I feel like healthy lifestyle for me is a new reality. So for me, this is like standard. My number one priority is my health, and I think everyone should like prioritize their health. And like this is a natural motivation for me. So I need to get my business running. I need to achieve my goals. And in order to do that, I need to feel good in my body. I need to feel balanced. I need to feel like psychologically well, not stressed. And this is like the highest motivation for me. Like I want to eat well so I can feel well, and I have a lot of energy to do the things I need to do. And this is what keeps me actually motivated. Like I want to achieve big goals in life. I want to have an amazing life. And I need to have a healthy body for that.
Wow, that's truly inspiring. Okay, and tell me, like, so like that there is that. Okay, so you stay motivated, you keep your, healthy nutrition diet, and your body is amazing, and then you decided to do this whole career out of it. And then there are people, right? There are people in your life, and as well as mine, right? Especially when you're starting, um, like, who are like, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? Like all this like negativity, and like the things that they don't understand, they feel like they need to judge or criticize, and so they
Mhm.
start like, it's not like they don't believe in you, but it's more like, it's very like weird to them. What are you doing anyways? And and a lot of negativity, and a lot of like mindset around complaining, judging, and blaming. And I know that in America, like specifically, in Miami, in whole America, but in Miami, like we don't really get that. We don't really have, like, I don't really have, or maybe it's me, I don't really have people in my life who like influence me negatively, because like the way that I operate is that if you're in my world, like if like my surroundings like get to inspire me, get to raise my vibe, get to be in touch with their own like brilliant, amazing life, and it's like it's a high vibe shit. And if
Mhm.
it's not a high vibe shit, like if you want to like come to me and blame, complain, judge, like I'll give you your space. I'm gonna judge you for this. Just like don't be around me,
Mhm.
don't be
Yeah.
around me. And like, and I have like, of course I have girlfriends like, that, like that they whine, and and like there's always like, a problem for a solution. There's no solution, there's only problems, like
Yeah.
problem for every situation. Anyways, and I just like when I see them like getting into that state of like constantly complaining and life is wrong and everything is not fair, I just step back and I'm like, bye, like I'll talk to you tomorrow. Like I love you, but I don't want to be around you.
Yeah.
So there's that. So how do you deal? And I know that in Europe, and I used to live in Ukraine, and I know how it is. Like, the people like in Ukraine and I feel like in Europe are like way more complaining, and with this like negative, like problematic,
Yeah.
mindset. So how do you deal with that?
So for me, this was problem because now I live in Prague. I used to live all around the world, but now I chose to live in Prague. And Czech people are kind of negative. They like to complain. They like to look what other people are doing. So for me, this is kind of just like I am so dedicated to my goals and to my shit that I want to do that I just don't listen to them. And actually, Anastasia was amazing in this, teaching me this throughout coaching. So I kind of learned how to not have these people in my life or have them less in my life and not let them influence uh, what I want to do, and kind of like distancing myself and doing it anyway. And with
Mm-hmm.
time, I think this is also like a skill that you learn with time. In the first, it will be really uncomfortable. But after doing it a few times, really giving yourself boundaries because this is what you want to do. You want to start your business. You need to protect this goal from everyone else, from all the negativity, because you need to stay motivated yourself. And this is hard enough. You don't need other people telling you why you shouldn't do it. So you kind of need to like create these very strong boundaries. This is what I think. What do you think, Anastasia?
Yeah, I mean, I think the same. I think that we need to create boundaries, like build boundaries with people, but
Mm-hmm.
also like, I had experiences with people who like had zero respect for my boundaries, and
Mm-hmm.
I just had to get rid of the people. Like,
Yes.
if there are people in my life who like I tell them, listen, this is like a thing that I'm doing, and like, let me do this. Like, don't interfere with your negativity or your like shit that you have to tell me about this. And if
Yeah.
they don't get it, like if they are not there to inspire me or like bring me motivation, and they are just there to like tell me how wrong it is, I cut the people. You know
Yeah.
why? Because like I feel like maybe it is cynical and everything, but I want my life to be amazing. And
Exactly.
for my life to be amazing and for me to live my purpose, I need to cut people who are not supporting that. And that comes with, girlfriends, boyfriends, my parents. Like I had a period in my life, like long time, like, a few years ago when I had to block my mother. Like I blocked her literally on Facebook, on like, on WhatsApp, everywhere. She had
Mhm.
no access to me. just because she was like too much of like an influence on my life, and I couldn't really feel, you know, free to do what I wanted. You know,
Yeah.
because like I felt like I always have to like, you know, like
Blame yourself.
yeah,
In
explain
a way.
myself
Yeah.
and like and hear her like judgments and everything. So, you know, but after that, you know, in a few months I had her block, and like that was like maybe the worst like experience like that I when I say cut people. Um, but you know, I grew so much through that.
Yeah.
Like I grew so much, and after a while, like my mother completely changed her behavior. Like she understood that this is my boundary that she cannot step. Like she cannot like cross it, you know.
Yes.
And same with my like girlfriends, or like, you know, the guys that I was like dating, or like that I'm, you know, if I'm seeing someone, like if you're not here to support me, to inspire me, or like, you know, to be a high vibe and a love, like give me this love from your heart, then you don't belong. Like, I'm sorry, but
Mhm.
like I prioritize me and I love you, but I love myself more and my business.
Absolutely.
You know, and as you said, it is hard enough. Like like building
Yeah.
this is hard enough. We don't want this to be even worse, you know, like with all these people.
Absolutely. And I think like having business will teach you to be more a badass in life, because you will have to say no to people. You will have to keep your boundaries. You will have to face like how to say it when someone tells you no, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Rejection.
rejection, yeah. So you will have to kind of level up. And I think you've mentioned it beautifully in one of your videos on YouTube, that new level of you requires new you. And you will need to
Yeah.
become a little bit new person. So you will need to have boundaries. So this is kind of necessary in some ways.
Exactly, exactly. And I feel like that was like such a long, you know, journey for me to like be able to tell no to people, because I
Mhm.
was trying like, you know, I never really considered myself like a people pleaser, but then again I had trouble saying no. You know,
Mhm.
because I felt like I am not gonna be like nice enough, you know, what are they gonna think about me? And I would rather like completely avoid the messages or like the questions, like rather
Yeah.
than just like say it, you know. But
Yes.
once like I started like to actually say like what I liked and what I didn't like I feel like I gained like way more like respect for myself, and same went for my clients and my friends and, you know, and my family. And like you're right, like building a business and being able to you know, to hold yourself and stand in your ground and hold your boundaries makes you a more of a badass,
Yeah, absolutely.
you know, like in
Because
life.
we are
And
leaders now, right?
yeah,
We are leading other people. So we kind of need to be, we have to learn how to say no in some ways. And I'm a huge people pleaser, actually. I'm
you
recovering now.
are. Look,
Yeah, I
Tatiana says
to
here
like make everyone happy.
we have like a common, yes, the hardest part is to say no.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you were saying?
Yes, that it was for me. It was a huge lesson. I'm sorry. I just need to like put my charger on. I know, not perfect business technology.
Not a perfect life, not a perfect IGTV life.
But I love these lives like the best when it's like authentic and
Right.
and fun.
But anyways, yeah, so like you were like people, I remember, you know, when I met her, she was like constantly like thinking about what her family will do or say, and how is she gonna like have this business if it's not like if it's more successful than her parents or her brother or whatever. Remember? And you know, and now you don't. Now it's just like the business at some point becomes so much bigger than you
Hmm.
that you just like you cannot afford to give a fuck, you know, like
Yes.
your life becomes like so much more important to you that you just can't afford to give a fuck
Yes.
about everything else.
And it's kind of like a new responsibility for you. So it's like when you have like some things to do or your friends tell you, oh, come out with us, but you have this higher goal in front of you, you just say no to these things and you go for these things, you know?
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly. But anyways, so my last question for you would be like, what do you think about like strict diets and weight loss, like in this way?
Yes. Strict diets and weight loss, they don't work long term. So if you want to like create really healthy relationship with eating, you should not think about diets like something short term. So with my clients, what happens a lot, they start these strict diets, they are unable to keep up with these diets, and they give up, because their body is just unable to keep up with this diet. And then they start to create this unhealthy relationship with dieting, and they think they are failing and they will never lose weight, and they stop actually believing that they can ever lose weight and live healthy, and they say no to healthy lifestyle. And also with strict dieting, also many times like comes this yo-yo effect. So you might actually lose a lot of weight in the beginning, but after maybe 2 months, you will gain everything back, because this is just not sustainable for your body. And your body will be in this state of starving, and it will actually sometimes even hold on to the fat instead of losing it if you have like too low caloric intake. So your caloric intake shouldn't be less than your basal metabolism. And it's really important to have your calories intake in a correct way. So I'm not a fan of strict dieting. I'm a fan of like finding what works for you and like creating sustainable, healthy lifestyle. And yeah, this is also how I work with my clients, and I'm a huge believer of this.
So if someone wants to like, live a better, like healthy lifestyle and, or like lose weight or like stay fit or, whatever they want to do with like their health, like how do they reach out to you? Like what's like your process?
Okay, so at the moment I offer a 3-month health coaching, and this is the best way how to like kind of really change the habits, because we will look at your diet, like the meal plan. We also work on exercise, and I also include like mindset work. I'm a huge believer of like the power of our mindset. So this health coaching package kind of combines like the learning about nutrition with like overcoming the limiting beliefs that we might have towards healthy lifestyle, and like building the habits that will really create the change in your healthy lifestyle. So if you guys, if this resonates with you, you can go to my profile, you can send me a DM or follow me, and we'll get in touch. We can hop on a discovery call, and we will see if this is a good fit for you.
Perfect. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Anyways, so the way that we set up this live, you guys, so we were like, okay, so first like I am going to ask her the questions, and then like she's gonna ask me the questions, so we cover like the topics that we want to cover.
Yes. So now my time. So Anastasia, can you share a little bit about your story? Because I think your story is super interesting, because you come from Ukraine, right? And you come from a family that was not rich, that was like not high class or whatever, businessmen. So can you share your story, how you got to this amazingly successful woman?
Well, you know what? Like, I think I should probably say that I always wanted to live in America. Like, that was like, I had an American dream since I was like 10 years old. Like, I always knew that American dream is going to be something that I not only see in movies, but that I'm gonna live. There was that. And apart from that, I also wanted to live like in a state or country with like 365 days of summertime. I just wanted the summer all the time, because in Ukraine it rains as fuck. And I used to live in Greece as well, but we had like 4 seasons there as well. Whereas in Miami, you only get like 1 hurricane a year, which you have to survive. But if you do, the whole year, like you get to enjoy the sun. So for me, it was the lifestyle. It was always like the money comes like, the money I feel like is very huge and important, part of like having this lifestyle, but it's the lifestyle first, and I like, since I watched this movie, The Secret, I was like, what if it was easier? Like, what if I could truly manifest everything I want? Like, including money, including wealth, including, like apartment that I love to live at, including a life partner, including the car that I want to drive. Like, what if it was easier? What if I didn't have to struggle? Because like I always saw like my mother, right? She was a cardiologist, and then she was doing the cardiology, and then she was a nurse. So she was working like basically like day night, no days off, and we never really had enough money. And it was like, I was like, why is she like doing this to herself? Like, why is she working? Is this all there is to life? Like, to work 9 to 5 and then work a double shift, and then not being able to buy everything that you want, and like is this struggle and then I thought to myself, I think that God didn't really want us to struggle. like I think that God had a better life and better way for us. And so what if I could discover that? And that started my journey, like my whole journey with like manifestation and psychology and understanding myself and understanding other people and discovering what I want to do in life, you know. So basically, like when I moved to, you know, to States, like my followers, you know, my people, like, you know, that when I was like 23, I made close to $1 million, right, through cryptocurrency. And, you know, like you could say, right, 23 years old girl from Ukraine, like
That's
made close to
amazing.
$1 million. Like, is she a genius? Like, was I
Yeah.
a genius at trading? No, I wasn't. Like, I literally manifested this. Like, I
Mhm.
literally, I wanted $1 million. There was was all I wanted. And I didn't care how I'm going to do this. I just wanted it. And I knew that it's going to happen anyways. Like, the why was not my responsibility. The why was never my responsibility. And so I
Mhm.
manifested it. Like I was trading. Yes, I learned it. But you know what? Like, I feel like, you know, my knowledge, like my level of genius is not like at all with the level of genius of trading and everything, like how like other people have it or like real traders. You know, I'm not a trader. I just like, you know, like you can tell that like maybe I got lucky. I don't really think, you know, that luck is a thing. I think we create our luck.
Yes.
So, you know, like
And you're a
crazy
great
to,
manifester.
yeah, I mean, and you know, given that today is a Friday 13th, and I think that this is the luckiest day of the year for me.
What a great
So,
belief.
yeah, I know because like, you know, when I was like growing up, everyone would say like Friday for 13th is like such a like a bad day. It's a bad luck. Everything bad happens on Friday 13th, and I'm like, no, for me, it's my
For me, no.
luckiest day. For me, no. Like for me, it's the luckiest day of the year. I'm gonna be a millionaire sometime soon on Friday 13th. You know, this is when I'm gonna hit it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so yeah, so there was like, you know, there was my story. I had a dream and I just went after it. And I believe that there is always a better and easier way. Like, I just think that we don't have to struggle. I think that struggle is not required, you know, to manifest money, to manifest life that you want, to manifest the body that you want, to manifest a man that you want or a girlfriend. You know, it's
Mm-hmm.
not supposed to be, you know, struggly and hard.
Yes. So can you tell more about the story, how you manifested this huge amount of money? Like, what did you do? Did you do some magic things, or can you like share how we can do it as well?
Okay, so first of all, I want to tell you guys that I am going to have a webinar specifically dedicated to this topic. And my webinar is going to take place on August 19th at 8 p.m. East. So I created a Telegram chat where you can find the link, you know, Zoom link to my webinar, and how to sign up to the Telegram channel. Like, it's on my stories, you know, I'm going to post it today. So check my stories, and, you know, like you can just like join this channel on Telegram. And then on August 19th, I'm going to share the link to Zoom, and it's going to be 8 p.m. East, right? So you can just come and listen, and I'm going to tell you all in depth, because like this is like one of the questions that I get the absolute most from my followers and like, you know, and the people that I meet. And I just decided to do a webinar where I'm going to take you like step by step through the process.
Oh my gosh.
But to share like a little bit, so it was consistency. It was consistency with manifestation. Like it wasn't consistency in like trading or like, you know, learning or whatever. It was consistency with meditating.
Mm-hmm.
So I basically meditated for 3 months every day, and I took actions. Like, I meditated, I asked my higher self, what do I do with this? Like, how do I proceed? Like, what are my actions? I want $1 million. And sometimes it was like crazy, you know, silly, small actions that I did, but I did them every day.
Mm-hmm.
Do you
That's
have a
awesome.
dog?
Oh, it's now it's outside. Sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't know you like, I wouldn't think that you have a dog. I
Okay,
mean, I
so
have a,
can you share how you actually stay motivated in your like entrepreneur journey? Because you know it's hard, and like there's something different every day to kind of like go through. So, and I do have downs, and I always like have to go through them. So can you share how you stay motivated in your way?
you know what? The best tip for like that I could give to others and that I do with motivation, I just like every time I feel the doubt, every time I feel the fear, or like I question myself, I sit down with myself and I journal my desires. So basically what I do, like I shift from being like doubtful, you know, not confident enough, like, you know, to like writing my desires, feeling my desires, and taking responsibility for them. Because like you have to understand that there is like nobody else who's going to live your dream. Like you have your dream for a reason, and you know, so many other people have their dreams, right? They are like living or like about to live, but like I have my dream, and there's nobody who's going to live it for me. So I am going to take responsibility for my desires. And, you know, my desires, like when I journal my desires, it's never like, oh, I want, you know, 100 people in my webinar or whatever. It's like, I want the Dior bag, you know, it's like, you know, I want to do like, I don't know, to go somewhere, traveling, you know, like I want to stay in this hotel. Like I want to have this car. I want to move in like to a better apartment. Like my desires are like very material, but they talk to my heart, like they talk to my lifestyle, you know, because like I feel like if you can have anything you want, anything at all, then what do you want and what else, and then like what else? You know.
Yeah.
So, and when I manifest my like, you know, business desires, then I have like a separate thing for like my business desires. So what do I want out of my business? Like how much do I want to make? How am I going to do this? Like how much does it is it gonna like cost me to like have this business? How much is my income? And what if I could make a little more than that? You know, so like I just like I journal my desires, and that is how I stay motivated. Like because my desires are like more important to me than anything else. So like no doubt of or question or fear can like take me away. Like I don't just let it take me away from what I really want, because like it's so easy, you know, to go the other way. It's so easy to say, you know, it just didn't work out. But what if we tried? And what if we tried like 100 times? And what if we try 101 times?
Yeah.
You know, then maybe it's going to work. And maybe, and I feel like this is a success story. You know, this a success story is not like when you, oh, you know, started the business and then you accomplished it, and then, you know, look at you, here you are, the star. You know, no. Success story is when you go through hardship. Success story is when you have failures and then you keep going anyways.
Yes. And I love your practice with desires, and I think it's really important to have like the desires that we truly want. And I want to share my story because maybe many of your or my followers will kind of resonate with this. So I was like going after desires that I thought that I should have. So I was thinking like, oh, I should save the world, you know, I should give my money to charity, and I should, you know, buy an apartment. But I didn't have these desires. They were not my own. And it was really hard for me to be motivated because I didn't actually want it. I actually wanted like nice shoes, you know, expensive purse, and like these small things. And like realizing what I actually want, and like having like creating a list of my real heart desires was so like the game changer for me. So like
do you
really
remember how like
be honest with yourself, like what is your true desire? Like what do you really want? And don't think that someone else is there to judge you, like, oh, you shouldn't want this desire. Who are you to, you know, want to be dressed nicely all the time, or like go to this expensive hairdresser, whatever. If it's your desire, it's your desire, and you should follow it.
Right. You know, like how I remember how I gave you this like homework to write your desires, and it was like, and I told you write down like 10 desires, and you like had so much resistance to like, you know, material. And you remember like how you were telling, and like so many of my clients, like every client that they have, they are like, but am I not supposed to save the world? Am I not supposed to save the people? And I'm like who are you saving them from? Like, are they in danger? Like, you know, like maybe you should go be a firefighter or something. You know what I'm saying? But like we run businesses, like we are in the business of inspiration. And yeah, you're so right about this. Like so many people like think that they should like do like, you know, give money to charity or whatever, you know, but it's not our desires. It's like we have these desires because like we want to like, you know, look good in the eyes of other people. But what we truly want, you know, is like to have this beautiful lifestyle, to have, you know, for women, we want our hair to be done nice, you know, we want the nails, we want to look nice, we want the personal trainer, you know, like for me, it's like my eyelashes, you know, like I love my fucking eyelashes, like I cannot live without my eyelashes. And it's like my desire every month, and I love it, you know, like, and same with like shopping, an apartment, and it's like, you have to have the, like, you are so right, you know,
Yes.
about this.
And honestly, like, we need to make ourselves happy first. Only when we are happy, we are in the most service to others as well, because like they get our happy energy for themselves, you know. And if we are like draining ourselves, we don't let ourselves receive whatever we want to receive, we don't buy ourselves things that we don't want to buy for ourselves, we kind of are not happy, and other people can feel it from us, and this is not beneficial. So we need to make ourselves happy first. And this is what I even say to my clients as well, like they need to start liking themselves, they need to start taking care of themselves, they need to put themselves as the number one priority in their life. And this is also so important in business. So you need to take care of yourself first, then it's your business, because your business will be thriving if you take care of yourself, if you make yourself happy, if you take care of your health, if you take care of your mindset, you know.
Exactly. And you know, like the other thing that like I want to share is that, you know, when we're constantly like, when we don't believe in the value that we provide, and we just like want to, you know, save the world and save the people and blah blah blah, like then like we're always trying to give people like to give others like in our businesses so much, and we're always like trying to justify our worth by how much we give. You know, and it's never gonna work. Like, you know, our worth is like, we deserve money because we do, like we are worthy because we are. And it's like like, you know, it's enough when you say it's enough, like you give value to people, like, and it's enough when you say that, you know, like you gave enough. And so like I feel like stop like trying to justify your worth, but like, and then they're like, okay, like why do I deserve to have so much? Or like they're like, oh, so like I'm spiritual and that's why like I deserve to be wealthy. Like, no, you know, there is like nothing that that says that you know, that you cannot be wealthy if you're not spiritual. Or it's like, you know, so I'm spiritual, I'm a good person, so that I deserve to be rich, you know. And it's like, and that belief comes from, you know, being rich is like for bad people, or like bad people are rich, you know. And that belief is slow, like primitive and average, but like this is so true, you know. And I meet like every day, I meet these kind of people, like I once, you know, I deserve money because I'm spiritual, like I'm going to do like this because, you know, and then the money is just gonna, no, it's the money first. You know, like put the money first, do the opposite from what you were trying to do your whole life, you know. Like you deserve the money because you do, and the business comes, like, you know, and goes, and you do, like, you know, you do the business, we provide value, we do the marketing, we sell, you know, we gain knowledge and we grow through that. But you know, like it does not affect like our worth or how much money we can make.
Exactly. Like it's two separate things. Your worth, you are worthy in the way just because you are, you know, every day you are worthy. You don't have to prove it anyhow. You don't have to prove it by earning money. You don't have to prove it by, I don't know, saving the world, whatever. And you can have the money and it's not connected. Like you can have the money just because you are, just because you decide, you know. And this is so beautiful about your teaching.
And then, you know, like how you said that like you wanted to, like, you know, you had this desire to like do the charity, you know. And so like if you do the charity, then maybe you're going to be worthy of having more money, you know, because like you justify the worth, right? With like giving to charities, and you're worthy to have more money because you already gave it to charity. But who says that? Like, who created that rule?
Yeah, it's only like ourselves in our head, you know. So we feel like we are worthy of the money if we give to charity. Okay, now we gave to charity, now we can like receive more, and we allow ourselves to receive. But what if you like made the decision to receive now, like without even having to do anything? And I love about your teaching. One day you told me, go to the start your day and like do something nice for people with the intention to get money for that, you know. And this is also like putting positive energy out to the world that deserves to like get some compensation in form of money, for example. So these small things are also valuable, and we don't have to like exhaust ourselves for letting us to receive the money, you know.
Yeah, because you're a kind person and you do kind things for others, you know. But it
And you have a
doesn't
good
have to be
heart.
charity, or it's like your energy is enough.
Exactly.
You know?
And we are helping by keeping ourselves happy and healthy. If we are happy and healthy, we are full of energy. And this is enough for being compensated for, because our energy is valuable. We are here for a reason, and this is enough.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I love, thank you so much for sharing like your point of that, because like I would totally forget, like, you know, like it was so important.
Yeah, I love how we kind of like each of us say something and it's perfect in the all together.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think like this is what so many people need to realize, and we need to start thinking like this. And this is so important. And it totally changed my perspective of thinking about taking care of my health, taking care of my mindset. And this is what we need to do, especially in having a business.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Anyways, next question.
Next question. So I know you were talking about like doing the desires. Is this the habit one that you would recommend for people to do in order to get rich? So what would be the one thing that everyone should do to change their mindset for a more wealthy one?
You know what? I would say like totally like spontaneous, but I would say that you first need to feel wealthy. Like you first need to feel rich. You know, like you like especially for people who have like this poor kind of mentality and mindset and they always save on everything and they don't believe that more money is going to come to them, so they like they don't park their cars like because they are afraid to pay the parking, or like they don't go to like expensive restaurants because they think they don't belong there, that it's for the rich or for. So my strong like suggestion would be like play with the energy of being rich, play with the energy of already having it, be in this energy of like being enough, and have these like millions of dollars in your bank account. Tell yourself that you're a multimillionaire, believe yourself, so that would be like shifting your mindset from like from being poor and scary and whatever to like being rich and wealthy and confident.
Absolutely.
That would be the habit. Yeah.
Yeah, we feel like we need to start doing these things only after we are rich, and we never do.
Yeah, and we have to do that before, like I made my $1 million like after I was feeling into that for a few months. You have to start feeling into your business being successful, into you being really wealthy, into you having millions of dollars in your bank account. And then you get it. Because like if you don't feel it or believe it or like practice the feeling of having it, it's really unlikely that that it's going to happen.
Okay, can you maybe like elaborate on what if someone feels?
That is my fire alarm.
Should you evacuate? Like a telenovela.
Like a telenovela, yeah, we evacuated on the parking lot. Hold on. See? Leave the building. Anyway. Okay. I'm on my balcony.
I love it.
Sorry.
Friday
No, it's a
13.
false fire alarm. Like we're having, a tropical storm today. So
you can show the view.
Oh yeah. No.
Oh. Yeah, I just had one more question. Can you like elaborate what people should do if they are like scared to buy something that they are not used to buy because they think that they don't have the money for it? I think this is what most people like face.
What was the question? How do they buy it?
No, like we were talking about living in the more like wealthy mindset. What if they are scared that they don't have the money for living in a more wealthy mindset? Can they start like with small things, for example?
Well, I would say what I always say: feel the feelings of already having it. Like feel the feelings. Practice being wealthy. Practice having the money. Practice having the things that you want. And that is going to like boost your confidence and belief in yourself and like making more money.
Perfect.
So like yeah, this scarcity mindset, like you just like you. And also the other thing is that you have to kind of like you have to be aware of it. Like when you catch yourself on like a thought that you are scared of buying it, be aware of it. It's like these things that we have like from our childhood and traumas and what other people said about the money. Like be aware of it first of all, like that you have that, and then you can shift it, and then you're like, oh, next time that I'm going to be scared of buying that thing, I'm aware of it, so I'm going to change it, and I'm going to understand like where is it coming from, like why do I think this way, is it even my thoughts, like is it like me who thinks that, or is it my parents or society or somebody else who told me that,
Yeah, thank you. Okay, and my last question, what would you say is the difference between a wealthy mindset, like success mindset, and poor mindset, like in your own words?
The difference, I think, is quality of life.
Quality of life.
I
love
think
it.
it's quality of life and quality of your thought. Like if you are into a wealthy mindset, like most likely you are healthy, you know, you can afford things, like you're positive, you know, like your mindset is positive, you have good positive thoughts and people around you are happy, like, you know, to be surrounded by you, and like you're just like, you know, you're just like this glowy kind of person, you know, and you have a beautiful lifestyle. So I think that the only difference is, you know, is in quality of life.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, so thank you so much
Anyway,
for sharing,
thank you
Anastasia.
guys.
This was
Yeah,
super valuable. Thank
thank
you.
you guys
And
so much.
we are looking forward to visit your webinar.
Yes, so that's what I wanted to say. So for Anashka, if anyone's interested in like health coaching, go to her page. She has like you know, free discovery call where you can like, you
Mm-hmm.
know, ask her all the questions that you want to ask her, and ask about her work and share your story and everything else. So you can like follow her and like go on her page to sign up for a free discovery call.
Mm-hmm.
And my thing is my webinar on like how I made close to $1 million at 23 years old is going to be on August 19th. And it's a free webinar. So sign up for my Telegram chat, which is on my stories to sign up. And I'm going to share a link to Zoom for that webinar on August 19th. And I really hope to see you there. Yeah, and sorry for the fire alarm. Like, it's been crazy.
Yeah, thank you guys for sticking
Not a
with us.
perfect life.
It was
Yeah,
super fun.
it was
Super
fun, but
fun.
it's like so not perfect.
It was so Friday 13th.
Friday 13th, yeah.
Yes.
Luckiest day, but anyways, who knows? Maybe something really good is going to come out of this life.
Yes, and maybe we will create even more videos for you guys if you like them. Yeah,
Yeah,
anyway, so I'm looking forward to meet some of you in my free discovery call, and we are looking forward to talk to you again maybe in the future. So have a great Friday.
have a great Friday, guys. Bye bye.
Bye.